Hi, everybody. Well, as you can see, my Christmas tree is down. We passed Epiphany, and I decided it was time to undecorate the house. But as we talked about last week, I did keep out one star to remind us of the light that shone from the star that led the wise men to find Jesus. And you remember last week we talked about us being stars because we too can lead people to Jesus. So I'm keeping this star out all year to help remind me of the important role I have to play. It seems to me that light, like from stars, is a really important theme in the Bible. And sometimes it comes from stars, sometimes it comes from lamps. In Jesus' time, they would have little clay pots filled with oil, and they would put a wick in and light it, and that would be the only light they had until the sun came back up in the morning. It was a long time before we got electricity, and candles were important. Sometimes we have candles that we keep on hand in case the power goes out. And I even have a battery operated candle. That's a good idea, too. Some of you, when you were baptized, probably got a candle that looked something like this. Again, light, very important. And I think that's because we talk about Jesus being the light of the world. And many of you know the song, This Little Light of Mine, and talks in the Bible about not hiding our light. Well, you might even know the song, I am the light of the world. You people come and follow me. If you follow and love, you'll learn the mystery of what you were meant to do and be. Well, that suggests that there's a plan in place, that if we follow God and follow Jesus and his teachings, we'll become everything we were meant to be. Isn't that incredible that no matter how young or old we may be, God has a plan for each one of us, every one of us, no matter how young or how old or how tall or whatever. God has a plan for you and for me. I like that idea. Well, what do we have to do to make that plan come true? We talked about it, right? We have to follow God. We have to follow Jesus. And we know where Jesus is. We know where his teachings are. We know where we can find out more about him. The Bible, Sunday school, even watching a children's time from time to time, maybe. Well, sometimes we need a little help. And sometimes parents need a little help keeping us as children on the right path, right? Well, today we're talking about baptism. And quite often, baptism, we think about water. And it's very true that we should. When John the Baptist was around before Jesus, he baptized people in water. When Jesus came, John the Baptist had said, somebody is coming who is greater than I am, and he won't baptize you in water. He will baptize you with the Holy Spirit. And that's what Jesus does. The water is still important, and we use water in baptism right today. But I think the light is also important because it helps us to remember to follow the light of Jesus and to be the light of Jesus for other people. Now, you remember I said that your parents had you baptized. Some of you may not be baptized, and that's okay. You can choose adult baptism when you're old enough to make that decision. But for a lot of us, our parents decided to have us baptized, really as a sign of faith. They consecrated us to God. It was kind of like entering into a partnership. Parents realized that it was going to be difficult raising a child and they needed help. Not help like making formula or playing or changing dirty diapers. More like help in guidance and knowing who to call on when we need that help, remembering who we are and whose we are. And that's what this light reminds me of. Now, if you have a candle like this, because we give them out at baptism at Parkdale all the time, it might be a great day to ask Mom and Dad if you could get out your baptismal candle. And with their help, maybe you could even light it. And around dinner time tonight, maybe you could look at the light from the candle and ask Mom and Dad about your baptism. Because for a lot of us, it was long enough ago that we don't really remember. In my case, it was a long time ago, and I don't remember my baptism. But I know that my parents entered into a kind of covenant with God. They wanted His help to make sure they brought me up in the right way. I think many of your parents probably had the same idea. So here we are, the light of a star, the light of a candle, and all of them pointing us in one direction, toward Jesus and toward God, and toward making their plan for us come true by following their words. Can you do that for me this week? I know you can. You guys have a wonderful week and have fun commemorating your baptism. Ask Mom and Dad what it was like. Ask them about the promises they made to bring you up. And maybe you'll even want to think about the cross. Reverend Bailey puts a cross on all the babies' foreheads after they're baptized as a method of consecrating them to God, saying that they are truly one of God's own. You and I belong to God. And that's an awesome message for the week ahead. I hope you have a good one. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.